What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country, in Washington, D.C., everything you need to know about on a daily basis. Money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, stimulus check update, and daily news. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button right now. It's completely free to do so. Remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, thank you so much for hitting the like button for us down below. You guys are amazing. In this video, we're going to be talking about how some people are going to be receiving a surprise $1,200. That's right. And the CIA has been spying on us. Surprise, surprise, right? And we got a lot to talk about in this video, so let's jump right in. Here we go. Some senators say the CIA has been collecting data in bulk in a secret program. Imagine that. Who would have thought that our government, the CIA, would have secret programs where they're collecting data on us? I never would have guessed. Yeah, that's right. Senator Ron Wyden, a Democrat from Oregon, and Martin Heinrich, a Democrat from New Mexico, said in a letter that was partly declassified that the CIA has been collecting data in bulk in a secret program that could impact Americans' privacy. In a letter sent to CIA Director William Burns and National Intelligence Director Avril Haines in April, the two Senate Intelligence Committee members called for more information on the program to be declassified. In addition to declassifying the senators' letters, the CIA also declassified a portion of recommendations from a report compiled by a watchdog, the Privacy and Civil Liberties Oversight Board, on the program. Significant portions of both the letter and recommendations were redacted. The rest of the report remains fully classified. If you guys want to watch an interesting movie, it's about the report, and it has the movie star Adam Driver, who was Kylo Ren from the Star Wars movies. And the plot is the idealistic Senate staffer Daniel Jones is tasked by his Senate boss to lead an investigation into the CIA's post 9/11 detention and interrogation programs, uncovers shocking secrets, and CIA cover-up. It's a very interesting movie about the Senate, the CIA, and government cover-up. Very, very interesting movie. And it has a 7.2 out of 10 rating on IMDb. And if you're familiar with IMDb ratings, that's a pretty good rating on IMDb. So in this letter from the senators, the CIA also declassified a portion of the report compiled by the watchdog that says significant portions of both the letter and recommendations were redacted. Wyden and Heinrichs allege in the letter that the program has been operated outside of laws passed and reformed by Congress, but under the authority of Executive Order 1233, a document signed by former President Reagan in 1981, which is when I was born, that governs intelligent community activity, according to the Associated Press, that says, quote, the CIA has been secretly conducting its own bulk program, with the rest of the line being redacted, which is exactly what happens in the movie. I won't give too much away. It has done so entirely outside the statutory framework of Congress, and the public believe govern this collection, and without any judicial, congressional, or even executive branch oversight that comes with FISA collection, referring to the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. Quote, this basic fact that has been kept from the public and from Congress until the PCLOB report was delivered last month. The nature and full extent of the CIA's collection was withheld even from the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence. Quote, but what these documents demonstrate is that many of the same concerns that Americans have about their privacy and civil liberties also apply to how the CIA collects and handles information under the executive order and outside the FISA law. In particular, these documents reveal serious problems associated with warrantless backdoor searches of Americans, the same issue that has generated bipartisan concern in the FISA context. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think that this is something that regularly goes on from the government? Meanwhile, check this out. Here's what two policy experts say about inflation, and listen to what they say about what stimulus did regarding the job market and the recovery. Check this out.
Is there anything anybody, to be fair to any political party, is there anything anybody can do to tone down inflation right now? I just don't see it.
Well, I think it's important to understand the context of where we're at right now. We are on pace to have the job recovery occur 5 times faster than occurred in the Great Recession. That's remarkable. When I was labor secretary, we were dealing with long-term unemployment issues because we didn't have enough stimulus. And so has there been a trade-off in this moment? Yes. If we had gone a little bit less on the American Rescue Plan and other stimulus bills, we might have less inflation, but we would have millions of less jobs. So I think that's important context to understand as we move forward here. The economists I talk to feel like by the end of this year, we will get a better handle on inflation. But what can we do now? Well, I know here in states, our governor, for instance, has the ability to extend hazard pay to certain employees. And he actually eliminated that hazard pay at the end of last year. The hazard hasn't abated. We still have so many issues here. And so that hazard pay could be useful, helping people out. And I think we should really think, again, understand that we have been able to create so many jobs so much faster. 7 million jobs created last year. And is inflation an issue? Obviously it is here. But what we have to make sure we are doing is understanding that we have 4% unemployment. We have workers have
we're coming off an artificial low. I mean, the idea that we've got this huge job boom, Tom, is just because we lost all the jobs in travel and leisure. We're just coming off an artificial low. It wasn't a real job.
But I think it's important to look at context. Look at the pace of the recovery during the Great Recession and look at the pace of recovery now. Our pace of recovery right now is literally 5 times faster than the Great Recession because we made these investments. We need to make sure these supply chain issues are very real, and the president is working his tail off to address them. What we have to do more of is make sure we're building things here, semiconductor chips, building them here in America, those things like that. Now, we can't do that overnight, but those are things I think we all agree we have to do.
Especially we see supply chain issues in China, the border issues with Canada. We're starting to wish we made more stuff here. But, Tom, to your point, that's a long-term issue. And, Dan, I'll take the other side. I mean, the Republicans are going to blame the Democrats because we're a society of just blame. We just have to blame everybody for everything all the time. But I'll give the Democrats a break. I don't know who could do anything about what we are seeing right now across most of this. For example, coffee. It's because of drought in Brazil as coffee prices are up. We're seeing meat issues. Well, because guess what? Not a lot of truckers to take it, so they're passing those prices on. Is there anything that we can do in the short term that is going to help the inflationary environment?
Well, yes. I mean, I think that, first of all, we need to see that this is a monetary problem. President Biden needs to call Acting Chair Powell into the Oval Office and tell him, I have your back. Do whatever it takes to get inflation out. And then we need to focus on what we can do to get prices down and to get workers back in. So let's take prices first. We can get rid of regulations that interfere with the supply of goods and workers. We can get rid of the Trump-era taxes, tariffs. There are tariffs on steel, tariffs on lumber. These drive up prices. We can get rid of those right away. We don't need those anymore. We can approve pipelines, exploration, fracking. all those signals will get the price of energy down.
Yeah.
We can bring back the Keystone XL pipeline. Then when it comes to workers, we can speed visa approvals for guest workers, for people who want to come from abroad, for immigrants who want to be green card holders. We can have more legal immigration. We can roll back mask and vaccine requirements so that more people come into the workforce.
You know, I like both of what they said there. He talks about how stimulus really got the economy back on their track. Of course, we know the job is not anywhere close to being done. We've talked about how the economy is on a K-shaped recovery, and we've had many experts through interviews here on the show. It's a K-shaped recovery. There's, people in the upper half that are doing well, but a lot of people in the lower half, 63% of people, according to new reports, are living paycheck to paycheck or are behind on bills. So clearly, there's still a lot of work to be done. 63% of people are still not doing well. But without all this stimulus to help out businesses and people, imagine how much worse off we would be. You just heard him say that. And I also like what she had to say there, and not partisan. She pointed to several different things we could do. One, get rid of the Trump tariffs that raise the prices of things coming overseas. Because remember, we can't exactly just make everything in America instantly, especially raw materials like steel and other things. We can't just exactly generate everything that we need here in America instantly. It's something that we could raise over time, but especially raw goods, we can't just, I know it in theory, we all want to make everything in America. Trust me, I do too. I'm an American. But we can't do it instantly. I think if anybody understands economics and make things in America, it just can't happen overnight. So we're trying to do that. Semiconductors, we're trying to do that. We're passing bills. It just can't happen tomorrow. Okay, we're going to try to start doing that, overnight, or we're going to try to start doing it as much as possible. But if we get rid of the tariffs that Trump added, that will reduce the price on some things. Okay, but she also mentioned Biden can open the Keystone pipeline. That's the pipeline he closed when he came into office. So again, I love when people aren't partisan. They're not Democrat, they're not Republican. They can point to faults on both sides. That's how I like to be as well. So again, she pointed to two things. One thing that we can get rid of from Trump's era, one thing we can get rid of from Biden's era, reopen the Keystone pipeline. That might lower gas prices a little bit. It's not going to drastically change gas prices. Gas prices didn't drastically change when he closed it down. It might affect it a little bit. It might help reduce the price of gas a little bit. Let's remove the tariffs on some goods from China. That might lower prices a little bit. It's not going to drastically lower prices. But I mean, at this point, those tariffs have been there for a long, long time. At this point, it's not, the whole trade war with China. All it's really doing is just raising the price on, I haven't really thought about the tariffs from China for a long time until I heard that interview. But at this point, all it's doing is just raising the price on goods. So there's two things that we could do instantly. Open the problem with Biden and the gas pipeline, he'd have to eat some serious crow, and opening that pipeline, that's a tough thing for a president to do, is say, you know what, I was wrong. Let's reopen the pipeline and let's lower the gas price. It's probably the right thing to do. Do you think he would do it though? You can let me know your thoughts in the comments here. Meanwhile, because of inflation here, gold, the price of gold has marked the longest streak of gains since November after higher than expected U.S. inflation readings. So the price of gold has really been soaring here lately. Check this out. Gold futures ended higher for a fifth session in a row, shaking off earlier weakness to mark off their longest streak of gains since November. After a reading on January, U.S. inflation came in higher than expected. After the January reading of inflation at 7.5%, holding at a 40-year high. And that means that investors have been flocking to gold here recently, which is pretty interesting to see that here. And of course, that's kind of the ebbs and flows of the market here. I thought that was a pretty interesting thing to show here on, along with my research that comes here on a daily basis, as well as this. Check this out, cashing in a surprise $1,200 child tax credit may be on its way for 50,000 families. Here's who's eligible. Yeah, and this is not the normal child tax credit that you might be thinking about. Thousands of families may be in for a surprise child. Let me zoom this in here a little bit. A surprise $1,200 child tax credit in the coming months. Lawmakers in Vermont, again, another state giving back to their residents, gave their stamp of approval to a $50 million tax cut package that would send $1,200 per child to families with kids under the age of 6 or under. The bill will now move to the Senate for the final say. The legislation, titled HB 510, is a progressive anti-poverty measure aimed at Vermont's demographic woes. Quote, by passing the Vermont child tax credit, we're communicating clearly and unequivocally here that Vermont cares about kids and families, that this is the place where you can make it work, says Representative Emily Kornheiser, said to her colleagues on the House floor on Tuesday. Vermont's version of the child tax credit is similar to the federal government's temporarily expanded version last year, which they're trying to pass again this year. And I'll keep you up to date on that as well. However, the expanded credit at the federal level expired at the start of 2022, and they're in the process of trying to figure out how to pass that for this year. Vermont's child tax credit would benefit 50,000 children here this year. It looks like the House of Vermont has passed it and moves on to the state Senate. Remember that each state has their own House and Senate of each state as well, each state legislature. So yeah, again, it was just it's absolutely just amazing how many states, cities, and counties are passing their own stimulus. So yeah, I'm going to keep you up to date here. Just any type of stimulus I find here on a daily basis, I'll keep you up to date here on this type of information, because most people do not know about these things. If you ask anybody about these type of things, 99% of people do not know about these things, including rent assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance, which I covered in the last video, as well as you heard the other video talk about hazard pay. There's like $1 billion in hazard pay we talked about in the last video as well. So if you didn't see that, you definitely want to check that video out as well. And I'll keep you up to date on all these different type of things. What's going on here in our country, federal stimulus programs, as well as state stimulus programs. We literally have dozens of states just giving money back to their residents here in 2022. So I'll keep you up to date here on everything, as well as daily news you need to know about. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. And remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember those times. Don't miss out on any new videos. And after you click the subscribe button, click the bell icon next to the subscribe button to get reminders when we go live with new videos. If you didn't see our video right before that, watch this video next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.